Opened up the year against the Upper Valley here in front of a great crowd. Beat them 84-27. We took off our press about 20 minutes into the game. It could have been a lot worse than that. But it was a great way to start. Started the season 4-0 before dropping a really close game to a minus, who is still playing in the 4AA playoffs as we speak. Then we went on up to Claremont to the Webb tournament, and we finished third. Had a first round win over Division 4A, our Division 4A, automatic qualifier, 1 seed, Sherman Indian. Okay, we beat them 84-49, but we were still not in the playoffs. Am I salty about it? Yeah, okay. It is what it is. Okay, then we dropped a tough win against a really good Pasadena Poly team, who is still currently in the playoffs as well. And then we won the consolation game against Oakwood by 15. After that, we went up to Loma Academy. Went up to Loma Academy. We went 5-0 in that tournament. We beat the number 2 team from Division 5 AA, Loma Linda, at their place in the championship game, 55-47. They're also still playing in the playoffs. We had 4 guys named to the all-tournament team for that tournament: Lorenzo Elias, Justin McWay, Joshua Clark, and Isaiah Skinner, who was MVP of the tournament. A couple other season highlights. We went up to Palm Desert, and we beat them at their place for the first time in school history. So, me being an alumni of Palm Desert, that one felt really, really good. And we're going to beat them twice next year, by the way. Another highlight is we swept Ranch Mirage, who finished 5th in our league and still made the playoffs while we're sitting at home. Beat them at their place by 4, and then we came here and we beat them by 16. Against our division, Division 4A, we went 5-0 on the year with an average margin of victory of 26.6. We're still not in the playoffs. We were ranked as high as 7 in Division 4A. We stayed within the top 10 of the rankings for the entire year. So that's an achievement in itself. The thing that I am most proud of, other than how these kids have matured, is that we set the school record for wins with 20. We finished the season 20-8. Previous record was 17 wins, so give it up for the guys. Thank you. Overall, it was just an outstanding year, and like I said, it's bittersweet because these seniors who did so much for us are done with high school basketball. Now, if they continue to decide to play after, I fully support that, but it's unfortunate because we talked about winning 20 games, making a run in the CIF playoffs. We basically hit every single goal that we made in September, and it was just unfortunate. Sometimes things don't work out your way, and I just really feel for these seniors because I felt like we would have had a very good run in the playoffs, and we were playing our best basketball at the end of the year. So that's when you want to be playing your best basketball, is when you're going into the playoffs. And I thought we did everything in our power to get there. It's like I said, some things don't work out that way. So for the kids returning next year, it's an absolute motivational factor. And you better believe I'm going to beat that drum every single day. You're going to be so tired of hearing that we got snubbed. But you got to keep it in your heart, keep it right here, and use it as motivation for next year. Because next year we're going to win 25 games. Okay? So, but it's going to start getting back in the gym and doing that kind of stuff, basically start next week. Like I said, thanks again, parents, players, coaches. Thank you so much for everything. It's not possible without you guys. I'm going to have Coach Lingle come up here and talk for a couple minutes about his thoughts on the season. And I know he likes the microphone, so I'm going to give him his time on here. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. So I'm Lingle, and I'm sort of the energy guy around here. First and foremost, I want to thank my wife of 40 years, Debbie. Thank you for letting me come out and play with kids. And I don't mean the players, I mean the coaches. I have known these guys, all of them, most of their lives. I can remember Coach Sobczyk and I at the rec playing, he on one side of the gym and me on the other, and having the time of our lives. Little did I know that our lives would intersect. Most important this morning, Jalen, I want to tell you I love you, and just seeing your son speaks to the wonderful power of prayer, and we all love you. So thank you for being here. Of the Board of Trustees, and Mr. Campbell in particular. He just walked in over there in the corner. Thanks, Mark, for allowing me to be part of the Xavier family, both your educational and your spiritual community. I am so at home here, and I am so enriched and blessed. Thank you. I have a lot of thoughts about our basketball season, and Coach is right. It didn't sit well with us, but to my seniors, I want to let you know that basketball really is such a small part of it. I mean, part of our responsibility as coaches and men is to help you develop character and understanding. You're going to be filled with many life's disappointments, and this is but a bump in the road, and you'll grow from it. You will experience more, and as I told you in practice each and every day, get thick skin, get better, and get over yourselves. Life goes on. When you wake up tomorrow, your families are going to be there, God loves you, and you're blessed. So we're done. And for the guys that are coming back, as Coach said, we use it as inspiration. The difference between those of us who are people of faith and everyone else is that we are not weak, we are just forgiven. And we're coming back even stronger. I believe that from the bottom of my heart. I want to tell you what I learned from this basketball season. It was incredible. Josh Clark taught me about rap music. I taught him about country. Brad McClure and I, we talked about everything.
And Brad, your favorite this, your favorite that, your theology paper, I mean, it was very, very meaningful to me. Mike's son, I will never forget you. What you learned is that your coach in America was better than your coach overseas, right? That's it. Yeah, we talked about that. I don't really need it. We talked about that a great deal. The one thing that rings true for me is that I think in high school basketball, and I've been doing this for a long time, is that every level exists to serve the varsity. And the real coaching that takes place, in my opinion, because I've done it in high school basketball, is at the freshman and the JV level. Because what they deliver to us, we get to work with. And I have to tell you, these guys do absolutely wonderful work. I do want to say, and I mean this without any sense of ego, I am the best shooter in the program. And that's just the way things are, and they'll have to accept it. I remember the many practices. Here's what I'm going to miss about this season. I'm going to miss having the opportunity to pray with you guys before every game, because it touched my heart. I'm going to miss the opportunity that when we're on the road and there's a show happening with other teams being introduced, where I've got you to myself. And you can see the competitive spirit that your coaches have. I've told you, and I mean this, is that if you take on the personality of your coaches and you want to win and compete as bad as we do, anything is possible. And I believe that. I think for me, the thing I'm going to take from this year is this. Coach asked me after the second practice, so what do you think? And I said, hey, Jay, look, we can shoot it, but can we defend anybody? And the point in time when your season changed was when you showed us that you deeply cared about defending the basketball. I want you to know, guys, and I mean this, and I've never said this to any other team, without reservation, unequivocally, undeniably, you are the best basketball team I've ever known. You're certainly the only one that's won 20 games. League titles, runs into CIF playoffs, MVPs, it is you. And the reason I say that is because you trust one another. You're honest with one another. Not one time this season did we have an issue between players. It didn't exist. That is selfless basketball. That's what it takes. And I believe in my heart that a lot of that is related, not to your coaching, but the way that your families have raised you. And buying into what we want to do and changing the culture at Xavier. Mr. Campbell said it earlier. Hard work, effort, and integrity. And you demonstrated that every single day in practice and every time that we step between these lines. I want you to know that it was a privilege, one of the great privileges I've had in high school basketball to coach you. And for those of you that are coming back, I am excited. I think good things lie in front of us, and that's what I told Coach. Yeah, we were disappointed, but you know what? Be disappointed for a day, and then where are we going from there? And I know where we're going. And I hope you guys do, because I do. To the parents, thank you for the opportunity, not just to coach your young men, but to help you in the development of their character and their maturation, and hopefully in some regard, their spirituality. You know, I've always had a saying in all the years that I've coached, and these guys know what I'm about to say. Nobody, and I mean nobody, loves them like we do. So thank you guys, I appreciate you.